All right, baseball fans, this is your chance to go behind the bat with a true legend. On February 27th at the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory, Jack Hilrich, the fourth generation leader of Hilrich and Bradsby, shares the untold story of the iconic Louisville Slugger from its first bat back in 1884 to today's game-changing innovations. This is history in the making, and it's going to be a one-of-a-kind experience. Rick Redmond's the VP of Corporate Communications. He joins us here with all the details. It is great to have you here because I can only imagine the stories that are going to come out of Jack's mouth, right?
You know,
who knows?
Jack is 84 years old now, so there's a lot of stories in that head.
Yeah.
But he is super sharp, and he remembers all this stuff. And it's terrific just to go back even to his childhood, because he was born into the business.
Yeah.
You know, he was born into the bat-making wood business, and so it's really all that he's ever known, and he has made such a tremendous impact on this community.
I think this is such a unique event from a number of perspectives. Like, for your baseball fans, you want to hear from him, but I just think in a changing world of how you have managed to survive, thrive, and grow, and still be a leader. For me, it's just like fascinating to hear what he would have to say about
and
all that.
of an iconic brand that is known globally.
Right.
Jack tells the story of when he was on vacation once in New Zealand, and he was pumping gas, and there was a guy who said, "Hey, where you from, Yank?" Because he could tell he's from American just by his accent, and he said, "Kentucky," and the guy said, "Oh, whereabouts in Kentucky?" And he said, "Louisville," and the guy said, "Louisville Slugger."
Exactly.
And Jack's like, "Oh, well, I own the company."
And he's like, "No, really." Really, you know. And I think, as you all are kind of preparing for this event, are those the kinds of stories that you expect for everybody to hear? And I mean, are there some that you're saying, "Oh, please tell this story"?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, he was a big fan, still is a huge fan of Ted Williams. It was his favorite player ever. And he tells the story of when he was 12 years old and they were at his father's winter home in Sarasota. Ted Williams lived like across the street in the winter, and you know, Jack broke his rib playing or something, and they taped it up, and Ted Williams signed his rib, and he was like, "I never wanted to take the tape off."
Right. You know, we're knocking on the door of, you know, baseball season getting ready to kick off again. You know, what do you think is the secret behind how the whole brand has managed to evolve and grow and even diversify in so many ways?
Well, it's really a focus on our customer and making the greatest, best product that we can for those players. And so everybody knows Louisville Slugger because of Major League Baseball. That is where our brand was built. But you forget often about the millions of ball players across America, North America, the Caribbean, Latin America, around the world, Asia, that use or have used Louisville Slugger equipment. Our bats, ball gloves, equipment bags, batting gloves, all the types of things that we've made over the decades. And so you have to continually innovate to stay on top of your game.
Yeah. For sure. And this event where you can actually hear Jack tell the story, answer questions, and really be there in the moment is being brought to us by what? Kentucky to the World.
Kentucky to the World.
What's kind of the setup of this, and how will the evening play out?
So I need to, you know, full disclosure, I'm also a member of the Kentucky to the World Board of Directors.
Okay.
And so this just seemed like a natural fit. Our goal and mission is to tell the stories of Kentuckians who have impacted the world globally and to help uplift and raise the profile of the Commonwealth. We want people to know that this is a wonderful place to live, work, and play, and try to draw more people to come to Kentucky as tourists, or to bring more businesses here, or just raise our profile. And so the evening's going to play out with Marty Archer, who is the President Emeritus of the Louisville Slugger brand and worked with Jack for 40 years, doing sort of an intro and teeing the whole thing up with some of his little stories about Jack. And then Jack and I are going to go through a question and answer session, and we've got some pretty good questions for him, but we're just going to kind of play it by ear too and see where the road leads us. And then at the end, we're going to have time for questions and answers from the audience, which will be great.
This is such an intimate kind of affair, I feel like, to hear from them? It'll be over at the Slugger Museum. Is that where you're
It's
going to
at
have
Slugger Museum and Factories Theater, where we show the movie every day. And it's an intimate theater, very small. So it's going to be just a wonderful experience for those who are able to attend. And the great thing is that this will also be recorded and produced into a television special that will air on KET.
Oh, fantastic. And I know you're moderating the event, right? That must be just a cool thing for you to get back into your news groove, Rick. Yeah.
Absolutely, you know.
You started here at WHAS.
I used to be part of the Crusade for Children in this very studio.
And so for you to be back in that role, to moderate and to ask questions of a legend, you have to just revel in that moment.
It's wonderful. And you know, there's so many things I want to talk to Jack about in this setting. You know, he comes in my office when he's in, you know, he's 84 now, so he comes in the office maybe once or twice a week for a few hours. But every time he does, he'll stop in my office and he'll sit down and we'll chat. And I always learn something from Jack. There's just so much knowledge in that head of his that I always take something away from it. I'm always very grateful that I've been able to have those kind of conversations with him.
We are very grateful. You could stop by and tell us all about it. February 27th. For those tickets, only 20 bucks. 20 bucks, almost like discounted by 50%.
Yeah.
20 bucks, those tickets. Get your tickets right now. It's going to be a wonderful event. For more information, just go to KentuckyToTheWorld.org.